encourage women to understand and know.
That's Marjorie Greene. You should never, ever take her advice.
If you accidentally get pregnant, let me tell you something. That abortion that you're considering having, that's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to make that boyfriend of yours or that guy love you. That abortion won't do that.
Can you imagine taking advice from Marjorie Greene, who is one of the most disastrous lawmakers in Congress? Now, she is trying to sugarcoat the reality of what reversing Roe v. Wade would mean for women. And she's trying to make it seem as though being forced to carry a fetus that a woman doesn't want to carry and being forced to have a child that a woman does not want to have is not going to impact her life in any negative way. In fact, it's actually going to somehow magically make it easier for her to get through college or to start her career or move up the ranks within her job. Like, she genuinely thinks that women are stupid enough to buy it. And to be fair to Marjorie Greene and Republicans like her who want to take a woman's right to decide what to do with her own body away from her, it's an incredibly unpopular position to have. And so now, all of a sudden, you have Republican lawmakers trying to force feed us all of this magical thinking and positivity about what being forced to carry a fetus to term would really mean for women across the country. Remember, 70% of Americans, that includes Republican voters, do not want to reverse Roe v. Wade. They believe that a woman should have a right to choose. Believe it or not, there are actually some Republican voters out there who aren't massive hypocrites when they talk about the importance of freedom and liberty. But when it comes to evangelicals, when it comes to religious fundamentalists, when it comes to right-wingers like Marjorie Greene, we're not allowed to have any say over our reproductive rights. Instead, it should be the Supreme Court and it should be lawmakers on a state level, and soon, if Republicans take control of Congress and the executive branch, it'll be the decision for the federal government as well as to whether or not we can make decisions about our own bodies. Now, I want to get to what she said there, right? Let's go to the next video because she continues the magical thinking about what it means to be a woman who's forced to have a child that she does not want to have. Let's watch.
It's not going to help you pursue a career that you think you want to pursue. It's not going to help you finish college. Let me tell you what will help you out more in your life. When you have a baby and you love someone more than you've ever loved anyone in your entire life.
So her argument is having an abortion isn't going to help you get through college. It's not going to help you start a career. Having an abortion, no, it's actually gonna be much better for you as a woman. And it's gonna be easier somehow for you to do the things that you wanna do in life if you're forced to have a child that you don't wanna have, that you might not be ready to have, that might be the child of someone who raped you. It's actually far, far better for you to not have a choice over your own body. So that is a lawmaker, a Republican lawmaker from the state of Georgia. Let's have a discussion about what it's like to be a mother in America. And let's take abortion out of it. Let's just talk about what it means to be a mother in the United States, in a country that provides virtually no security, no safety, and no support if you're a mother. Okay, so if you don't have the means to raise that child, if you don't have the means to put that child through school, if you don't have the means to pay for childcare so you can get back to work, you get no support. Let's not get it twisted. That is the reality in America. And these right-wing lawmakers want to force you to do something with your body that you might not want to do. And then once that child is born, they then throw their hands up in the air and say, we can't do anything to help support you because that would be dangerous Marxism, socialism, and then they'll throw in a bunch of other words that they can't define if you actually ask them point blank to define it. Okay, so let's take a look at the worst states and the best states to live in if you are a working mother in America, okay? And I want you to keep in mind that Marjorie Greene is a lawmaker from the state of Georgia. Okay, great. So So let's start with the positive news, I guess. And this is all relative. I mean, if you compare the best states to be a working mom to, let's say, some of the Nordic countries or Scandinavian countries and the kind of support that they offer, I mean, it's night and day. But in the context of the United States, where we don't get much support at all, the best states to raise your child are as follows. So you've got Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the District of Columbia, Vermont, New Jersey, New York, New Hampshire. Now let's go to, and by the way, let's keep that up for a second. This was done by Wallet Hub. They did an analysis and they actually looked at a number of different elements of these various states and what they offer to help support working mothers, right? So that includes childcare, professional opportunities for working mothers in the state, work-life balance, and they score all of that. And look, each state has different programs in place, right? There are federal protections. For instance, if you take leave because you just had a baby, federal protections prevent your place of work from firing you, but let's also acknowledge that places fire women for having children all the time anyway, and they get no protection at all. But there are other states that offer absolutely no protection whatsoever, okay? No social safety net, no program to assist them, especially if they are in a lower socioeconomic status. So let's look at the worst states to be a working mother, the worst states. Oh wow, what a shock. So many red states represented there, including Georgia. Out of 51 states that were looked at for this analysis, Georgia comes in at 43. 43. Now, California is not doing so great either. California is at 42, but I would argue that that has more to do with the cost of living and how the social programs in the state of California don't really help to mitigate the insanely high cost of living in California, okay? But going back to Georgia, it would be far better if our elected lawmakers who claim to be pro-life spent more time focusing on what they can do to create an environment that actually encourages women to want to have kids, rather than just forcing women to do things with their bodies they don't want to do, to have to bring life into this world when they're not ready for it, they don't want to do it. And Marjorie Greene's response to that is, oh, but love will solve it all, okay? Your career will be just fine. We're not gonna help support you and no childcare. We're not gonna help you with your medical bills, none of that, but it's gonna be fine because you're gonna have someone that you really love. Love will save it. Love will save you. She doesn't believe that. We know she doesn't believe that. You know how I know she doesn't believe it? Because Marjorie Greene is the same as Lauren Boebert. Okay, QAnon conspiracy theorists, absolute morons. And when it comes to the social programs that actually would support families, what do they have to say about it? Well, let's go to Lauren Boebert. She'll remind you.
Mayor Pete was on a 2-month paternity, whatever the heck you want to call it, leave. The guy was gone, okay? The guy was not working. Because why? He was trying to figure out how to chest feed. Maybe someone should tell him, please, so he can get back to work. Listen, I'm a mother of 4. I delivered one of my children in the front seat of my truck because as a mom of 4, we got things to do. Ain't nobody got time for 2.5 months of maternity leave.
Ain't nobody got time for 2.5 months of maternity leave. So in other words, pop your baby out, back to the mines, and shut up. That's the right-wing ideology in America. So what do you do with your baby, your newborn baby, if you're not allowed to take paid time off in order to nurture a newborn that you just were, in the ideal world of Republicans, you were forced to bring into the world, okay? Who do you leave the infant with? You're breastfeeding. You might have had a C-section where literally your abdomen was cut open. Your insides were taken out of your body in order to make room for taking the baby out of your body, and then you're stitched back up. When exactly does Lauren Boebert propose that women be forced back to the mines? Is it the day after? Is it 2 days after? Just curious about that. Even if a woman has a vaginal birth, she needs time to recover. She needs to breastfeed. She has to wake up multiple times every night to feed the infant. But ain't no time for maternity leave. Back to the mines. These are these so-called pro-life Republicans in America. They're not pro-life. What they are is anti-freedom, anti-liberty, anti-say over your own body. That's what they're about. And by the way, let's talk a little bit about how much childcare would cost if you are forced back to the mines. If you don't show up, your livelihood could be taken away from you, right? So exactly how much would it cost in a state like Georgia, for instance, to put your child in childcare? Well, costs have gone up considerably, especially during the pandemic. Childcare costs have increased by 41% nationwide due to the pandemic. Families in Georgia saw the highest increase in the country at 115%. The average annual cost of childcare in Georgia was just over $6,000, but during the pandemic, prices rose to more than $14,000 per year. The Build Back Better bill would have assisted with childcare costs, would have made childcare far more affordable for Americans. And you know who voted against it? Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Greene, because they're not the pro-family party. They're not the pro-life party. They're part of a party that just loves to control women, loves to force their theocratic ideology onto all of us in a country that's supposed to be in favor of separation of church and state. That's what's really going on here. And what they stand for is so unpopular that you now have them trying to sugarcoat what the reality is. Let's just keep it real. In a country with absolutely no support for new moms, for new families, being forced to have children you don't want to have will absolutely destroy your chances of establishing a decent career, of getting through school. But they don't care. Because one thing I know for sure about the Republican Party is they love nothing more than putting people in desperate situations where they have no choice but to take low-paying jobs or take any job or deal with any situation, because now they're not just looking out for themselves, they have to feed an entire family that they were forced to have. That is what the Republican Party stands for.